Hey, what's up, gentlemen and ladies? Welcome back to another Final Fantasy 15 discussion, and today I'm going to be once again talking about one of the characters from Final Fantasy 15. If you guys haven't seen my previous video on this, I basically go into detail about each one of the characters that we know of so far from the game, exploring just, who they are and what their role is going to be. I will leave a link to the playlist in the description if you guys want to check out all of the other characters, and if you have any one character in particular that you would like me to do a video on, then be sure to let me know in the comments. That being said, big thanks to Vince Gabriel Villanueva and Light Lee for suggesting today's character, Cindy, so let's get started. We first saw Cindy in the Jump Festa 2015 trailer, where she was introduced as the mechanic of the game, leading many people to believe that she would be this game's version of Sid from previous FFs. And once we got the name reveal, Sydney, that only added to that because, Sydney. I personally really liked the idea of having a female Sid for this game. It was a pretty new, interesting, and refreshing idea. But then Tabata took all of that and threw it out the window when they announced that, oh, she's not the real Sid, she's actually Sid's granddaughter, even though she will most likely be the actual mechanic throughout most of the game instead of Sid himself. Oh, and her name is actually Cindy. Yeah, speaking of which, that's something that actually confused several people, but officially, yes, her name is Cindy in the English version of the game and Sydney in the Japanese version. Why? Don't ask me, I have no clue. While we're on the topic of names though, her full name is presumably Cynthia Aurum, the word Aurum being Latin for gold, so pretty much Cindy Gold or Golden Cindy, depending on how you look at it. We've seen her so far exclusively at the Hammerhead gas station located in Lead, just outside the walls of Insomnia in the Kingdom of Lucis. Something that I find especially funny because in the GameSpot footage, we see her asking the guys who of the four of them is the prince.
Now, which one's the prince?
So she doesn't even know her own nation's royalty. Then again, that is assuming that Lead is a part of Lucis, and that's getting more into like Final Fantasy XV's geography, and I plan to make a separate video on that in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Fun fact though, the song that actually plays in the background of the station in episode Duske is actually an instrumental version of Neil Young's Heart of Gold, which could be a reference to Cindy's last name, which means gold. We know that this will be the first area of the game, so Cindy will be one of the first characters that we meet in the game, and of course she is fixing your car after it breaks down, something that apparently happens quite often as the entire premise of episode Duske revolves around you getting money to pay for your car's repairs, once again with Cindy. We've also seen her driving around a golden tow truck, which we see in Hammerhead during Duske, and this is what she'll use in case your car stops working far from a station. Either that or Noctis is pushing that thing. And while we're on the topic of the car, there's actually an alternate skin that you can get for it that is sort of Cindy themed in a way. However, we don't know how you will obtain this, if it's either going to be by buying it or unlocking it in the game itself, or if it will be sold separately as DLC. Apparently, after a quote-unquote shaking experience, whatever that means, she begins moving around the world, which is what I'm assuming is their excuse to have her be available all around different places instead of just being in the one area of the game. So she's probably going to be like the Chocolina of 15, if you guys know what I mean. And just like with the majority of the post-Versus 13 characters added to this game, she was indeed designed by Roberto Ferrari, not Tetsuya Nomura. And that's that, pretty much all of the information that we currently know about Miss Aurum. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if there's any characters that I haven't done that you guys would like to see, then just let me know in the comments and you might get a shout out in my next video. Either way though, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to blitz that like button, subscribe as always. Stay tuned for all things Final Fantasy!